At the time of recording, it is the day of the update with the new Weirwood tree overhaul of sorts, and this final stage, 963, has been causing a few players a fair bit of issues. I've noticed across multiple discords, and when you look at the abilities of the commanders, the Night King Wights and whatnot, it sort of makes sense why. So I'm just going to do a quick video explaining exactly how you can do this manually and basically guarantee to kill this without any issues if you are having issues with this. If you are like a fairly established player, you have a lot of paid commanders and whatnot, you can probably just face roll this with like a good formation and auto from the official Discord or something. But I'll show it here with all free-to-play commanders. So all of this is obtainable free-to-play. Obviously something like 4-star Gene might not be available to everyone, but I'll show you the concepts, and as long as you follow these concepts, you'll be able to kill this easily. So the main difficulty here is the Night King's abilities, and it's quite intimidating when you read through this, but the key points here is it says he does certain things at the 80% health threshold, the 70% health threshold, and the 60% health threshold. So at 80 and 70%, he'll kill an ally, which means if we focus damage in on him at first, or at least whilst there are still 2 Wights up, we can then have him kill 2 of these for us, and we don't have to waste our damage on them, which is one thing we're going to want to be doing. And at the end there, when below 60%, executes any 4 random units, which nukes basically your entire formation, but he'll lose 15% of his max health to crits, which will just happen naturally. So the goal here will be making sure that there is 0 Wights left when he drops below 60%, because you won't have that extra crit damage onto the Wights. So if you only have 2 commanders into the Night King and a Wight or something, it gets really difficult. I know there's a lot of mechanic explaining, I'm sorry. Another key thing we're going to want to take note of is the Wight abilities. So here, this Wight applies a debuff that hugely reduces rage recovery and attack. So we're going to want a debuff cleanse because of that. Gene has a debuff cleanse on her active. If you see there, removes all debuffs in a round area. So Gene is our counter to this. This guy just heals. Don't really care about him. We sort of counter him through Winton and his anti-heal. You can counter him with other anti-heal effects also. But the main one we're going to want to be cognizant of is this Wight infantry, which applies a buff to these 4 that reduces normal attack damage. So we're going to want a buff remover, which is why Winton is here. You see there, his active ability removes buffs and stuns for 2 seconds. So this formation is sort of deliberately countering this. You'll only really need Gene and Winton to counter these 2 mechanics, and the rest is sort of just damage sequencing. This video is going on a lot longer than I intended it to, but there's a very clear plan that we're going to want to use when we get in here. According to the health thresholds, we're going to want to drop the Night King to. So here we go straight in. All my stuff is debuffed, so we're going to want to use the Gene active as soon as it comes up. They already have the, there we go, the normal attack reduction, all of them, so we're going to want to Winton hit them here. I'm going to specifically focus damage onto the Wight Spearman because it has significantly lower health than everything else. So if we have the Night King kill the Wight Cavalry and the Wight Infantry at the 80 and 70% health thresholds, that would just be much more efficient DPS-wise for us. So if we just go through our actives here, it doesn't do that much damage. Like something like Simon alone will be enough to keep everything alive. So just keep hammering all your damage into this Wight Spearman for now. I'll put it on 2x speed because it's fairly face roll. I mean, you will just power through this on most decently optimized like paid compositions. If you have enough damage, it will just sort of steam train through it naturally. I'll slow it down as this Wight Spearman is about to die. Let's say there. This Wight Spearman will die in a second, and when he dies, we're going to start putting all our damage into the Night King himself. So now the goal is to drop him to 960k health. So in about 100k health, he will kill one of these other Wights on his side. Keep going. So it should happen just a second. 960k. Come on. So tanky. There we go. So you see there, he insta-kills this, the Wight infantry. So now he'll kill this other Wight at 840,000 health. So we just gotta keep hammering away at him until he hits that health threshold. I'll put it on 2 times speed for this because, again, it takes ages. And it might look close in terms of time, but it isn't, because he will just insta-die when you start getting that crit mechanic onto him. So here, this will be enough. Now he'll one-shot this Wight cavalry, see there? And now he will just very easily die as soon as he hits the 60% health threshold, which is 720k. He will nuke your side of the battlefield when this happens, but it doesn't really matter. You see nothing's at threat of dying, really, so 4 things will die. But now the crit mechanics come through, and yeah, he just insta-dies. And that's that. That is how you do the Weirwood stage 963 with totally free-to-play commanders. It's fairly complicated, but if you follow this step by step, it's fairly simplistic when you know exactly what to do at least.